Hey, what's up everybody, it's your boy Proftrof, and we're back again with another Gigguk video. Okay, so we're doing two Gigguk videos in 2 days, mostly because this was been requested for a while, and I was like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow came, and I was like, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow. And then that happened like 5 more times. So today we're gonna be checking out watching anime fansubs. Okay, shit, I forgot fruit over there. It's okay, it's a Gigguk video. Most of you are fucking responsible for me watching these VTubers anyway. So you get to suffer fruit. Not much of a suffering, but anyway. First off, happy day before Christmas, I guess. And let's get into it.
Hey, come look at the site.
Oh, cool. Can you download
The Tebeo Subs Naruto episode.
Is this a porn video? What the hell is this?
Hey, come look at the site.
Oh, cool. Can you download
The Tebeo Subs Naruto episode 134.
Think about how you personally got into anime.
I'm not talking about when you first watched Dragon Ball or Pokemon on TV, but when you
First got
I watched Naruto on the TV when I was a small kid, and I assume they only bought like the first 50 episodes, because they would show the first 50 episodes in a row and then rewind and then rewind and then rewind that shit. So I think it was after the Zabuza arc and a little bit of the Chunin exams, and they would rewind that shit all the fucking time. So I was like, okay, I guess I gotta check out the rest of this. Y'all cannot stop the anime in the middle. And then I
fully immersed and involved in the community. And I'm guessing if you got into anime before the 2010s, a large portion of you would have fan subs to thank for that. Right? Haha! Psych, bitch! You're going to jail! Whether we like to admit it or not, fan subs have played a massive part in the international anime community, especially when it comes to the exposure and spread of the medium. A lot of us wouldn't
What
be
the
here
hell
today
did I
if
just
not
see?
for fan
Wait a second.
exposure.
I will proceed to pleasure myself with this fish. Huh. I've not tried it. I didn't know you were a pedophile. Watashi wa kare ga koto o irikirinai moshido wa sorotsomari da. Yes. It seems that I have shaved my kind person. It seems that I was shaved by a kind person. Okay, moo. Accurate.
And spread of the medium. A lot of us wouldn't be here today if not for fan subs. My very first experience with them was the very first time I bought anime. So I bought off eBay what I thought was a very cheap box set of Naruto, and what arrived wasn't even one of these cheap Chinese knockoff box sets, which this is a story in and of itself, but what came was just a CD case full of blank DVDs where
Okay, so unfortunately I cannot have any experiences similar to this because I live in Bulgaria, and we don't sell shit like this here, okay? We barely have enough food to sell. I'm joking, it's not that bad, okay? So they don't sell. I don't think you can find anywhere. I mean, nowadays you can probably find it, but I don't know if my whole town has anywhere you can buy fucking manga or animes from. So just like everything else in Bulgaria, we pirate that shit, baby.
Where someone had just written the episode numbers on, and what I didn't realize
I'm
was
proud
that
of
I had
that.
just paid someone to burn some fan subs onto some blank DVDs.
Hey,
And that's how I
business.
got into anime. The early days of fan subs in anime seems like this underground trade deal. You could have 8th generation VHS tapes being circled around anime clubs and conventions.
How
By
old
what
is
I imagine
Gigguk?
to be like some kind of black market anime dealership where you approach this shady guy in a trench coat and you're
Oh, it's the dude from Resident Evil 4, right? I just spit on my... It's okay, yeah, we're probably used to getting spit on.
asked for a gram of coke along with episode 4 of Urusei Yatsura.
Wrecked.
Anime in general was a lot harder to get hold of. You needed a physical copy of the anime, which back then was rare enough as it is, a bunch of VHS recorders, tons of wire, and this new fancy schmancy thing called a computer, all just so you can fan sub a single episode of anime. This was before my time, so I can't even imagine how expensive and clunky such a setup would be back then. For those of you living in the sleek, optimized smartphone era of technology, you needed to apply much more brute force logic to the technology back then. For example, if your game suddenly crashed back then, there was no day one patch. You needed to apply your own fix, and it went something like this. I will now show you the sound of my childhood. It was very limited in what you can do and how you could distribute it. There wasn't much variation in how subs looked at how they were formatted. In fact, there was only one sub format that mattered, and that was watching subs with old crusty ass outlines in a color I can only describe as urine yellow. And the older the generation of subs, the crustier the outline. A pattern that would remain with modern fan subs, however, is that translation quality could vary greatly depending on
Even electronic brain pancake crystal did it. Yes.
So you could find some fan subs that, let's say, had a little less finesse in their translations.
Where the hell are you?
Now, my Japanese isn't the greatest, but I don't know if Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, an action show aimed at children, really said that. It wouldn't be until the digital age that fan subs and well-distributed anime in general got a lot
savage.
easier, thanks to the rise of P2P
Stop
file
spilling
sharing
coffee
sites.
everywhere,
And you may be
dumbass.
thinking, oh, which one did you use first for anime? Gigguk, BitTorrent, or maybe it was hanging out in IRC chats? Well, it was actually
uTorrent.
LimeWire. So, small tangent about how I first accidentally discovered my first downloaded anime through LimeWire, even before Naruto, because one time when I definitely wasn't downloading what I thought was paparoach_last_resort.mp3, and for once didn't get a billion viruses or Bill Clinton talking about his sexual relations, but instead I got a certain scene from a certain OVA which let's just say it had this sound effect in it. Fuck me, man. Is it possible to get nostalgic over porn? That's right. Basically, my 12-year-old self made a discovery that would stick with me till today. That I like my coffee the same way I like my Bibles.
Black. Oh, it's Bible Black? Really? I'm sorry, I always skip to the porn, so I can't really say anything about the story. Best hentai ever.
So yeah, I accidentally discovered hentai before I discovered...
Oh, I never knew what they meant by once you go black, you never go back. But once I watched Bible Black, I understood. That is exactly what they meant.
Of an anime. This is still a video about fan subs, right? Distribution wasn't the only thing that got easier though, as software allowed pretty much anyone with a working computer to subtitle any episode of any show, resulting in an explosion of groups who could work to translate and sub more anime than anyone ever had before. Welcome to the age of digisubs. Mid-2000 anime fan subs was essentially subtitles going through its insecure high school phase where it cared a little bit too much about its image. While professional subtitling standards was about leaving a smaller footprint as possible as to not distract from the thing it's translating,
I'm just about to explain the instructions.
In fact, what defines mid-2000 anime fan subs was the complete lack of any uniform standards, because fucking everything went. One of the biggest trends was that fan subbers would just arbitrarily choose to leave some Japanese words untranslated, with no pattern whatsoever in what words had the honor of being untranslated and left in Japanese. And you know what? I get it. There are times when a word is hard to translate and requires further explanation. There are times when attack names just sound cooler in Japanese. And then there are times when you are just writing Zetsubo, which literally means despair, and you explain that it literally means despair, and you are still writing Zetsubo. What? This is how you end up getting the famous just according to Keikaku meme, translator note Keikaku means plan. Because to facilitate all these untranslated words, you would have translator notes, which were like little footnotes that would give you little bits of extra information to help add context to whatever was being translated on screen. Seems simple.
What? What?
To help add...
No, the correct way to say it is basugasu. Bakuhatsu, which means bus gas explosion. Basugasu, basugasu, basuga.
context to whatever was being translated
Okay.
on screen.
I
Seems
trust you.
simple, right? Well,
Wrong.
they weren't. Explaining translations, explaining jokes, explaining completely useless bits of information the viewer didn't need to know. Sometimes there was such an absurd amount of information on screen that unless you had a fucking Sharingan, you weren't actually following that shit. I think fansubs really contributed to this weeb culture that made anime this really inclusive fandom you didn't get unless you were properly in it. Like, I remember people legitimately refused to watch anything but fansubs because it kept in honorifics like San and Kun, and how dare they translate Oni-chan into Big Brother. Which sounds really dumb when I say it out loud, but we all ended up learning a lot of useless Japanese because of it. Like, okay, be honest,
Baka.
how many of you would have never heard of the word Nakama if you didn't watch One Piece when it was being fansubbed? So
Yeah,
if you're an
actually,
anime
actually,
fan
brother.
back then, you could form these ridiculous sentences no normal person would be able to understand. Like, oh yeah, I saw a Shinigami with a Nichan and Senpai and he used Kagebenshin no Jutsu before becoming my Nakama, and congratulations, if you just understood that sentence perfectly, you too had fallen into
Yes, I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't.
Another staple of fan subs back then were, of course, subtitle effects. If you've ever searched up an opening on YouTube and it had these fancy effects that ironically made it harder for you to keep up with the karaoke than if it just had plain subtitles, congratulations, you found some fan-subbed openings. This wasn't just limited to karaoke effects, however, because anyone who watched One Piece back in the fan-sub days would know that the true One Piece experience is watching Luffy shout Gomu Gomu no with fat, green, animated subtitles, and no attack would actually be complete unless it had a corresponding color and font that was timed to the attack. I mean, if it
Yeah, that
doesn't
seems
have its
pretty
own
cool, though.
special animated font, is it even an attack? How the fuck am I supposed to tell? Was it attention grabbing and completely against professional standards? Yes. Do I still find it awesome to this day?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome though.
Yes! I think the whole art of subtitle effects
Yes.
peaked with this group called Fansubs, who basically perfected the art of subtitle effects peaked with this group called
Kami subs.
Fansubs, who basically perfected the art of shitposting while still technically subtitling the work. As they ask the question, can subtitles go too far? Or have we not gone far enough? Then there would be times when they just straight up stopped giving a shit. Then there is the magnum opus, which is when
Why is my fucking arrows keys not working sometimes? I need to clean these motherfuckers. Wait, sorry. Anyway, it says I don't have to work on this shit anymore.
And then there is their magnum opus, which is when they subbed SAO2's OP. I don't know how shit my sense of humor is that I fucking lose it when I just see subtitles that go so far they're not even legible translations anymore.
Jesus, how are you supposed to
Because
read
when
all
you think
this?
it can't get more ridiculous, it's just like... I really shouldn't find this as funny as I do.
I sincerely hope that Kami subs still exist. I need to go check out their work. Yo, this might make Sword Art Online second season actually watchable. JK, nothing makes that shit watchable.
Dude, it's just artistic cancer, okay? You can't find this gem on YouTube anymore. But Google is your friend. And see, that's what I miss about fansubs. They had personality, even though, yeah, they really they had personality.
At least it wasn't as bad as it first tried us to it.
Even though, yeah, they really shouldn't. Nowadays, subtitles are far more, for lack of a better word, plain. as they completely should be. The reason fansubs were like this was because fansub groups wanted to carve out a distinguishable identity, and
GGG.
some of them actually succeeded.
Hi, I'm John. I am one of the co-founders and one of the staff of .to Fansubs. Thank you.
You had
Thank you,
fucking
thank
gang
you.
wars between various fan subgroups about who had the best quality translations, who had the fanciest effects, who can get translations out the quickest. Because if you stood out, more people would download your subs, and if more people downloaded your subs, you'd get this thing called internet attention, which as we all know is this completely outdated idea because no one on the internet does anything stupid just for attention anymore. Nowadays, simulcast has pretty much killed mainstream fan subbing. Most of the fan subs now you find are just ripped straight from legal translations, and the only time you do really see fan subs anymore is when a movie comes out on Blu-ray, or a show is stuck in Netflix jail, or for some reason a
Netflix
streaming
jail.
company accidentally realizes that they've just licensed the hentai. But that will never happen, and that's because beyond all the fancy effects or translation notes or even pristine translation quality, the thing people most care about is speed. And now in the era of instant streaming where
Hey, that's not what my girlfriend told me.
pirate sites can literally just rip off
They did
official
not care about
translations,
speed at all.
fans-
I was the fastest of them all, and they did not. I'm joking. I have a girlfriend.
subs don't really have a place anymore. I know what some of you may be thinking. Gigguk, aren't you a hypocrite for talking about watching anime illegally when you've worked with a lot of these bigger legal anime
Hey,
companies?
damn, my
Well,
boy
no.
looking sleek as fuck. God damn,
You've
Gigguk.
worked with
God damn, bro. God
a lot
damn.
of these bigger legal anime companies.
Doesn't look very,
Well, no. And I'll tell you what.
Very happy to be there. Seems kind of nervous, but it's okay. It's normal.
Right? Because this video is actually sponsored by Bookwalk. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Or am I?
この番組はご覧のスポーツ
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of sponsors, boy.
Also, congratulations. If you also recognize that soundbite, here's your senior discount card. While I do promote many legal ways you can get your anime or manga now, I think it would be blissfully ignorant to ignore
Legal
how
ways.
big an impact fan subs have had on our fandom and culture. I probably wouldn't be an anime fan if not for fan subs, or at least nowhere near as big as I am now. And I don't think anime would be as widespread internationally as it is now if not for it either. At its conception, fan subs was about allowing other people to experience this great show or medium that they would have no access to otherwise. And looking at the landscape today, it's definitely achieved that. There was a point where without fan subs, we wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to discover some of our favorite shows. But the landscape is very different today. Now, accessibility is no longer an issue at all. While anime is far easier to access than it ever has been before, there are still plenty of people who are region locked out of services, or can't afford them, or are unhappy with them, or just want free shit. Piracy is something that is never going to disappear, but it has been proven that if there is a product or service people want sold in a way that maintains integrity, people are willing to pay for it.
That is
Look,
true.
I didn't want this video to be a discussion about piracy. I just wanted to tell people about that time I downloaded Bible Black off LimeWire as a teenager. Whatever your stance, fan
Best
subs is
decision in his
something
life,
that has
brother.
played a massive part in my fandom, and I just wanted to take some time to look back at an era gone by. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you watch Naruto at 53 1/3" subs on YouTube, then you're not a bad person. But what I am saying is, if you still watch anime on YouTube and it looks like this, what the fuck is wrong with you? How is it
Who
that
does
you're
that
determined
shit?
enough to watch anime for free on YouTube, but you're not determined enough to use a fucking Google search? You know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna steal a car instead. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. As you can tell, I recorded that when I was briefly back in England a while ago. Don't worry, I haven't been traveling between countries.
Is this why his room looks like a jail cell?
That when I was
Little
briefly
bit.
back in England a while ago. Don't worry, I haven't been traveling between countries anytime recently. Not that that's possible even if I wanted to right now. Firstly, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Crossing Void. Disclaimer, this
Crossing
video
Void.
isn't sponsored. They were just kind enough to sponsor my Interspecies Reviewers video a while back, which got fucked in views thanks to it being age restricted within the first few hours, so I said I'd give them a free shout out. If you didn't know, Crossing Void is a turn-based mobile RPG with a lot of big anime franchises, including SAO, Devil is a Part-Timer, Tori.
Okay. Anyway, that was Gigguk's video about watching anime fan subs. I enjoyed it. It was pretty interesting. It was before my time, so I don't half of these no correlation to your boy. Yes. Did y'all experience this time? Are you old enough to have experienced the time of anime fan subs? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a nice fucking day.